How do you help a child love someone who's dying without pretending everything is fine? Today, we're looking at Ida Always, based on a true story about two polar bears from the New York City Zoo. This is one of my favorite books for helping children with anticipatory grief. And I want to say that clearly, this is a before death book. If a child is about to lose a pet, a friend, or a family member to an incurable illness, this is one of the books I would highly recommend reading with them. Fair warning, I cry every time I read it. The story follows two polar bears, Gus and Ida. They live together, play together, and move through the rhythms of life side by side. Then, Gus learns that Ida is very sick, and she is not going to get better. What makes this book so special is that it does not rush past the middle. It stays with the waiting and the helping and the sadness and the love that they have for each other. And that is so important when discussing death and grief. Because when someone you love is dying, grief often begins long before death. And children feel that. They notice the changes, the absences, and when the adults around them get really quiet. This book normalizes those feelings while showing children it's okay to feel confused, sad, angry, scared, or even playful while someone they love is dying. And all of that can be true at the same time. I also really appreciate that the story shows how to care for somebody as they die. It does not make the child a passive, actionless observer. It shows closeness, presence, and love that keeps showing up even when there is no cure. There is also a very gentle hospice element in the line, "She slept a lot, but she didn't hurt. The keepers took good care of her." I think that is such an important sentence because it helps a child understand that dying does not always mean someone is suffering every moment, but rather that someone can be taken care of and, hopefully, remain as comfortable as possible until they die. The artwork is another reason this book works so well. It is stunning, not just visually, but emotionally. The illustrations do so much more than simply depict the text. The story moves through the pictures as much as through the words, and it all hits on a deeply emotional level. The visual storytelling and the written storytelling are so intertwined that it feels like the book is breathing with the emotions of the characters. And for a topic like this, that is incredibly important because children often understand pictures before they can verbally express what they feel. I also love that this book's message does not criminalize death or treat it like something unspeakable. It talks about death as part of life, a painful part, yes, but still part of life. That makes the book feel honest without feeling harsh. And after Ida dies, the book gives a message I love to see. It leaves room for healing. There is still loss and the ache of somebody not being there, but there is also acceptance and continuation. The beginning of carrying love forward. This is one of the most emotionally mature things this book does. It does not pretend that acceptance erases grief. It simply shows that life can keep moving while love and loss both remain. If you're a parent or an adult working with children, this book can be especially helpful when death is approaching and you need language for the days before it happens. When the questions start, when the child notices someone is weaker, sleeping more, or no longer getting better, that is where this book is unusually strong. I cannot overstate how much I personally love Ida Always, especially for a child who is preparing to lose someone they love. Ida Always is my pick for the months, weeks, or days before death happens. Though, as much as I love this book, it is not my first pick for explaining death in a more general sense. If your child needs help understanding what death actually is and why it happens, I have another book I recommend that delivers the same message in a clear and gentle way. But first, if this review was helpful, please like and subscribe so I know to keep making more evidence-based content for parents and adults working with children. If you're interested in purchasing Ida Always, which I highly recommend, I have an affiliate link in the description below. Finally, if you've used this book with a child in your life, I'd love to hear how they processed it. Now, my go-to book to help children understand death in a beautiful, grounding way is called Lifetimes. You can watch my review of it here. Until next time, let's all practice more understanding and less shame.